Abdul Kul Tafalatat, Wabazum, Gama Farragun, Shalel Kulum. I am in the love of all, and all love is in me. I am a part of all, and all is a part of me. I am one with all, and all is one with me. And I can succeed as a part of all and fail as an individual. I can be all that I wish in all as long as my wish is to stay in all. I am never alone. All is, I can. All can, I can. All does, I do. Estunje ilaku. When is the last time that you talked to your best self? This is an interesting conversation. What up, fam? Um, do you even know what your best self is? Do you even does it even has anybody ever even thought about what does my best self look like? I think that the best self like punks us more than anything outside that we could imagine. You know what I'm saying? People talk about white supremacy. They talk about the Me Too movement. They talk about like people victimizing them. But nobody's talking about a conversation with your best self. So I'm going to tell you a story. And then I'm going to talk about me and my conversation with my best self. You should share this one right here. If you don't know who your best self is, if you've never spoken to your best self, if you don't even understand the concept of best self versus worst self, then you should share this video. Press 2 if you share this video. So I have so many conversations with my big homies, like just on the phone during the day, like always masterminding and working on something, right? And I have to give a shout out to like Trill Alchemy Radio that comes on Thursday at 9 o'clock, because just really healing the real, providing a platform for other people has made me like really get into talking and listening about me. I'm Coach Khayr, Team Taurus, Atlanta, Georgia. What's up? What's up, Cancers? What's up, Team Cancer? Team Leo, y'all coming up, baby. What's up? Right now it's Cancer season. What's happening? What's up, Cassandra? Let me get my shouts out. Team Aquarius, ATL. Team Libra, what it do? Chicago. Columbus, Ohio is in the building. What up? What up? What up? What up, fam? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, tonight this one is, I don't even know what this one is about astrology. I don't even know how I don't really need to tie this to astrology. I probably can, but I just want to talk about just regular old, when do you get to talk to your best self? So my man called me the other night, Tariq, Destiny Grind, right? And a couple years ago, no, I think it was the end of 2016, beginning of 2017, he came to me with a big proposal to make some money, right? But he was putting up most of the bread and he wanted me to come do the work, which I didn't have a problem because my commissions on doing the work, I'm an assassin for the money, especially if it's in my character. It's gonna help people. It ain't gonna hurt nobody. You got something for me and I'm gonna make big commissions. Let's make it pop. What up, Katrina? So, Karina and Katrina, peace. So, he never followed up. And that's my man. And I was just like, man, you always have these always good ideas, but you don't be following up. You don't be following up. So I didn't go back to him and say, yo, what you gonna do about your dream? That dream that you came that we could make a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money. You ain't came. I was like, nah, I'm chasing my own dreams and talking to my own self about my own follow up, right? So saw what it was, and I was just like, yo. So then he calls me 3 nights ago, and he got an energy about himself that I have not heard or seen. I've been knowing this brother like 9 years, 8 or 9 years, right? And I was like, yo, what you been doing? You know what I'm saying? You over there smoking good or something? Who you been talking to? Because we have this thing where we we have our own mastermind crew. Like, and then you have to put a mastermind crew together and you talk to them about business. You know, like you probably have never had access to them. Some of them may be dead, but you just have an imaginary conversation about them and they'll get your ass on track. So my imaginary board for my money team is Mansa Musa, Sun Tzu, Jay-Z, Dame Dash, Napoleon Hill, Reverend Ike, and Reginald Lewis, first black billionaire in America, right? And so sometimes I'll just be having a conversation, but I know he got a squad too. He got Steve Jobs, he got Dame on his staff, he got a mean board too, right? He the one brought this scenario to me. And what up, Tanson? And so I was like, yo, you sound like you got like a fire tonight. Like, who you been talking to? You been talking to Steve Jobs? You been talking to so-and-so? And guess what he said? He said, nah, I've been talking to my best self. I said, what you mean you've been talking to your best self? He said, yo, my brother called me. And he just was like, yo, who do you have your regular conversations with when you alone? Your best self or your worst self? He said, because if you're not talking to your best self, your worst self is controlling the conversation. If I'm not talking to my best self, then my worst self is carrying on the conversation. And I'm just like, what? So he just keep talking, right? He was like, yo, the idea I was telling you about, yo, we need to get this thing moving. Bop, 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 bop. He said, I sat down and talked to my best self. He said, my mom's called me and my mom's talking about she need a car. I went to best self. Best self said, I make $70,000 a year. What's the problem? I mean, a month, excuse me. I make $70K a month. So he's talking to his best self, and his best self is making 7-8 times more than he is a month. And he was like, yo, what are you doing then? And best self said, I ain't bullshitting. Best self said, I'm choosing me. I'm choosing the best that I got. See, fool. I'm choosing the best that I got. I said, your best self told you that he just choosing right now? That's all he doing? He choosing? And I'm like, what you talking about? Y'all know I'm trying to pause on the story for a second. Okay. Had to get that done. So I'm like, when's the last time I chose my best self? So then he starts running. Then he starts running through the ideal again. And then he says, oh, wait a minute, before I tell you that. When this all happened at like 2 o'clock, 2:30 in the morning, right? And so I'm watching a YouTube video. So when he calls me, I press pause on the YouTube. I hit mute on the YouTube. So it's big TV. I got my computer running through the big TV. So guess who comes on the YouTube? Michael Jordan. A 48-minute long video of Michael Jordan from his rookie year just coming into the league like an assassin. He was the Black Mamba before there was a Black Mamba. He was just a killer, right? And as he's telling me all this, I'm just like, sequence of events. How is all of a sudden Jordan on my screen? This dude is way up here in Lawrenceville, and he over here, everything he's saying about best self is, I'm looking at Michael Jordan. I'm looking at Michael Jordan being his best self, like attacking, like being a ferocious killer. And I'm just like, wow, the results of his best self, him choosing his best self to come out, has him as a billionaire, owner of a team, doing what he want to do. He's living in his divine self. I said, why you ain't talking to your best self? Why you ain't choosing your best? I'm talking to Khayr now. He's still talking to me about the plan to get the money. And I'm watching Jordan. And then he says something really, really crazy. He not crazy, bad, but he says only your best self can pull this off. I say, what? He said, my best self told me to call you. And my best self told me to tell you that only your best self can pull this off. Now the deal got some numbers in it. And I've seen a lot of things with numbers in it. But then I started saying, have I ever tried something with some numbers in it with my real self? My best self. He said, only your best self can pull this off. And I stopped and wrote it down. Only my best self can pull this off. He's the only one that can make this happen. And I've seen so many times that I failed and got back up and tried again, but I got back up trying again with the same self. I didn't get back up with my best self. I had to even think, when was the last time me and my best self went forward into something? Yes, Sifu, it is real talk. Cause this been on my this been on my mind for like 2 strong days, and all these other things have been coming. And I have to say, I was thinking about Sunyata. So not many of you know who my grandmaster was when I was studying martial arts. His name is Sunyata Saraswati. And I had just been thinking, like lately, like, yo, we ain't been, like, the whole crew who trained with him, we haven't seen one another. We haven't gotten together. We, like, are we letting stuff die? Like, he gave us all these ancient sciences of martial arts and healing energy that nobody has. Nobody's doing it, because I would have seen it. I've been looking for it. And I'm like, dang, it's only the cats that I train with, and then we're all doing different things. And I was like, are we really living our best self? Is this what Sunyata would have wanted? Now, that's my worst self asking me this question. But he had a valid point. My worst self was like, yeah. Do it for Sunyata. If you're going to bring it out, do it for someone else. And then my best self said, nah, do it because it's the best thing to do. It's the right thing to do. Don't do shit for nobody else. Do it because it's the right thing to do. It's the trillest thing you can do is honoring you, playing at your highest level. I remember an old man, I did a Tai Chi demonstration for an AARP meeting. And I just talked. And we went outside. I walked one of the old dudes to his car. And he said, young boy, die empty. I said, die empty? He said, yeah, all the stuff you got in you, he said, you better hurry up and get it out. He said, because it's going to torment you at an old age if you still got this stuff in you when you getting ready to die. He said, you better die empty. And now that I'm thinking about it, the only way I'm going to die empty is if my best self help me. Help me live. My best self is going to have to help me live in order for me to die empty. Is anybody following what I'm saying right now? My best self has got to come forward, help me pull off what I got in front of me right now. Anything else that comes at me, smack the shit out of it, so I can have everything come out of me that God put in me for this particular lifetime. Now, I am a person who reincarnates. I don't believe in reincarnation. I reincarnate. You reincarnate. We all reincarnate. I don't believe in reincarnation. I am a reincarnation. I've been here many times. But my best self, just me listening to this whole ideal about my best self coming forward, I'm telling you, like, I've been having all type of DNA explosions over the last 48 hours. Me, the coach. And then I say, yo, my best self. And then I was like, not Khayr, but I was like, wait. You've been fronting on Khayr. Who knows what the word Khayr means? The word Khayr means excellent. Excellent is your best. So if I can say I ain't been talking to my best self, then what the freak have I been doing? And he said, you've been letting your worst self drive. He said, you've been letting your worst self drive. Who you letting drive? Oh, my man already told me. He said his worst self was driving. I'm telling you, my worst self been driving. And I do some fly shit. I help a lot of folks, but you know what? I'm helping a lot of people with my worst self. A lot of folks ain't even seen me in my best self because I ain't seen my best self. I haven't demanded that my best self step forward. Whew. I had to come talk this out. What about you? Have you demanded that your best self step forward? It doesn't matter if you know what he looks like, because you do know what he looks like. That's what I said at the beginning. Nobody has punked you more than your best self. Your worst self won't punk you. Your best self will come up and say, this is what I look like right here. I'm unapologetic. I'm the shit. And I can get it all done. Every dream in your head. Remember that shirt I got? I have my ancestors' wildest dreams. That's only my best self. My best self, I can dream of be my ancestors' wildest, but only my best self can come up and say, ah. That's what I learned from Senyata. In martial arts, you have to have a tiger's heart to transform. You have to have the spirit of the tiger. You can't because your best self is just like one of these deities in my house. They're not going to respect you when you're here playing all passive. Will y'all please come help me? Lord Ganesha, please help me. Oh, Jesus, please help me. Oh, Krishna, oh, Vishnu, oh, Sekhmet, can you please help me? Oh, Goon, if you can spare the time, I would really appreciate it if you would come help me. Oh, Orisha, oh, ancient Egyptian gods, oh, Hotep, oh, please, can I? They don't rock with beggars. Your higher self don't rock with beggars neither. But when I said higher self, we need to have a conversation before I could get the word conversation out. Yo, this nigga was on my shoulder like, what? What? You remember when you used to do, I used to do, when I used to have really good ideas, when I used to be in the street, jokers really wouldn't pop up to be like, what you talking about? What you want to do? But every time I would come up with something on a scheme, on some drugs or doing something illegal, jokers would just be like, flup, 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 flup. They'll just be right there. What you want to do? What you want to do? That's how my best self showed up. It was scary for a hot second. Then I was like, damn, all I had to do was call you and get serious? No, not Lionheart. Not Lionheart. There is no lion style of Kung Fu. Go type in lion style Kung Fu. No. Sifu, she said, why Tiger Heart, not lion? No, not lion. That's because they don't want you to win. They don't want you to win. I know. I told you, I ain't talking about astrology. I'm talking about real arts out here tonight. The tiger. Go type in white tiger, black tiger. And then see white tiger Kung Fu, black tiger Kung Fu. There ain't no white lion Kung Fu or black lion. There ain't no lion Kung Fu. But that's good though. You just didn't know. It's all good. I've resized this, but it's hard to keep that drive around draining people, and right now that's my only option. I don't know what you mean, Monica. What do you mean that's your only option? You gotta go get it. You gotta go pull the animal spirit out of you. When I remember when it was time to be tested on iron palm slaps to breaking the bricks, right? And I was just slapping the brick, and I was trying to use my muscle. I was trying to use my arm, you know what I'm saying? I was like, pow! Like, you got to break it with a 6-inch slap. You go from here, you bring the hand up, and smack the brick and break it. And the brick is like this thick. And so I saw how easy the other cats have been doing it. So I'm trying like that, and then it didn't work. I started hitting it harder, and hitting it harder, and hitting it harder, and hitting it harder. And my hand starts to hurt. And the brick ain't breaking. And then Sifu Terrell says, he said, bring the critter out. I said, bring the critter out? He says, yeah. He said, you know what your animal spirit is, right? He said, go get him. And in my mind, it clicked. And that spirit came up. Pow! And the brick just collapsed. It just fell. Right. And that's when I realized, like the other night, the higher self ain't rocking with no beggars. the higher self, man, is not the best self. We keep talking about the higher self, right? But see, we playing ourselves when we talking about higher self, because you mean, oh, just a little bit higher than where I'm at right now. You mean higher than where I'm at now? You know, I'm playing at 60%. So if I play at 63%, I've reached my higher self. I'm going to resonate and get my chakras together, and you know, I'm going to work on my throat chakra. Everybody's afraid to work on the crown. Everybody's afraid to work from the crown chakra. You got to be a boss. You got to have an attitude to work with the crown, to work with your best self. And that's because the worst self of you is talking to you. The worst self. And I ain't mad at the worst self, because remember, the best self only comes out by choice. So I've been by not choosing best self, I've been defaulting at worst self. What's up, Miss Bush? Team Scorpio, what's happening? How can I be mad at my worst self if I ain't been demanding that my best self step up? No, not higher self, best. What's the best of me look like? The best of me looks like $85,000 a month. How much are you doing a month? Huh? How much value do you bring yourself? What can you accomplish? I know my best self is doing 100 stacks a month. My best self is having such a good time without me. And me and my worst self making it on what I'm making. I'm not starving. My bank account is okay, it's fine. All the bills are paid. I can go get whatever I desire, be wherever I want to be. But guess what? My best self is really balling out. I ain't really balling out. My best self is doing 100K. He's doing 100K a month. If not more. It might be doing $1 million and just not telling me. And worst self will be like, blame your parents, blame the white man, blame this, blame your habits, blame all this other stuff. Blame. That's worst self. This is how you know if you're talking to best self or not. Best self doesn't debate. Best self asks you, what's the action we're going to do? Best self is a do energy. Best self is a do energy. Please type that. Everyone, please type that. Best self does not negotiate. Best self is a do energy. What up, Adrian? My best self said, like, yo, let's do something. Then he said, then let's do something then. Let's do something. He said, you can't be around me if you're going to pussyfoot around. If you're going to drag around, then how in the world can I let you be with me? When I told my man, I said, yo, who best self been talking to? Guess what he said? He said, best self already been trained by those masters. And best self got it in him all the time. My worst self has to go talk to Mansa Musa, talk to Jay-Z. My best self has to go talk to Reginald. My best self has to go talk to Sun Tzu. I'm saying my worst self has to go talk to all these mentors. Keep talking to them. Keep talking to them. Keep talking to them. My best self is like, I know them, but I've incorporated their lessons in my heart, and all we do is apply. The word is apply. And I ain't been applying. But I'm telling you, I'm not looking at it astrologically. I could be talking about Uranus going into Saturn, Uranus going into Taurus, Mars retrograding, Mercury retrograde coming up, Saturn in Capricorn. I could talk about all these things, but my best self told me to shut the fuck up and do. He don't use a lot of profanity. That probably was me. But he was just like, yo, why are you worrying about, well, what's the rising sign? Your worst self overthinks things. You overthink things. How many of you overthink things? If you ever been guilty of overthinking things, press 1, please. Hey, let me just. I'm just trying to figure this out. Press 1 if you've ever overthought something, and you know you overthought it too much. I just want to know. If you've ever overthought something, guess what? That was your worst self. Your worst self is reliable too. You ain't got to rise above no astrological sign. You don't have to rise above an astrological sign. They all make you up. You're supposed to be the one doing the mastering. If you're overthinking something, that's your worst self. Your best self doesn't think. Your best self does not think. Your best self doesn't care about astrology. Your best self doesn't care about numerology. Your best self doesn't care about all those sciences. Your best self don't care. That's your worst self leaning on astrology, leaning on all of that. You need it, but you gotta encompass it in your heart though, so that when you move and you do look at your astrology chart or you do look at your numerology chart, it's nothing but a confirmation. And most of the time when people come to me to get a chart reading, CoachKAstrology.info, guess what? It's a confirmation that the worst self is totally in charge, or it's a confirmation that they've gotten in contact with the best self, but they really haven't applied yet. They haven't applied yet. And they're looking for a strategy to apply. And I was like, best self told me, he said, you giving everybody else strategy. What's your strategy to get to me? So best self was talking to me as a separate individual player. He was like, look, and he wasn't even on that, look what I got. But he was like, see how I feel? He said, because I could feel my best self like a separate entity, and his vibration was way higher than mine. I have a really high vibration. I'm not a negative person. I'm not disagreeable or nothing like that. I got tons of personality and charisma. But when I felt my best self, he was on Wamba Wamba. I don't know where he was at. He was out of here. Right. So, yeah, my best self, man, my best self is like, my best self is who I'm rocking with, right? Ain't no leap of faith either. Best self don't operate on faith either. See, that's worst self talking. Worst self got to have all the reasons to do this or to do that or to do this or to do that. That's worst self. Worst self is reliable. You know what I'm saying? Best self is like, I'm out, yo. I ain't tolerating this, and that's how you gotta be. And that's how I am now. But I've been talking a good game, and it's a lot of stuff that I don't tolerate. But it's some things about me I gotta stop tolerating. See, I done already cut off 90% of folks because not tolerating what they're doing. But guess what? If I still ain't exactly where I want to be at, then guess what? So me, it's something about me that I'm still tolerating, that I'm putting up with. Best self don't put up with no bullshit about self. Best self is a doer. He's not a putter-upper with her. Putter-upper with her. Bet you can't spell that. Yeah. Best self run on instinct. Best self, his song is Slap Me and I'll Slap You Back. That's best self song. Yeah. Best self is not thinking about, man, it's, even as I'm talking through this right now, my best self is like hollering at me from a whole nother level, yo. What's got to get done? Like, best self stay committed too. He stay committed. He may take naps. He may go on vacation. But he's so committed to when he sit down and drive. Oh my God, he drives. He been giving me little hints though. You know how like little things that best self dropped on me and left for me? No whining and complaining. So I've been talking about best self and some of his activity, right? But I can't complain about what what my what my hold up is. Well, I gotta do something about it. And procrastination, easily to getting distracted. I have so much horsepower to come from behind. Like I may not run all the way from the blocks all the way through the tape because I have a lot of top end. Best Self said, what happens if you start strong and finish strong? Best Self says you always finish strong, but what if you was to run all the way through strong from beginning to end? You can run a sub 9 100. I don't know if any of you ran track before. Keep up with Hussein, your boy Bolt from Jamaica, or Carl Lewis. But to run a sub 9 8, to run under 9 seconds in the 100, everything got to be perfect. There's a lot of aggression going on. A lot. And that's the thing. We think that aggression is bad. We think that I'm going to wait here and all these things are going to just come to me sitting up under this rock. I can just make excuses and stuff like that. Best self is action. Best self is instinct. Best self is tongue wagging dragon. I used to talk about tongue wagging dragons. Well, guess what? You got to let, your tongue wagging dragon, boy. I don't think y'all know. It's real serious out here. Trust your best self, yo. So, I don't know, I don't want to get too sideways. I want to say I appreciate everybody who came just to watch this evening. Some shifts have happened. I guess I'm going to give you that. And probably the direction. Cause best self was like, why don't you talk to the people about what you really want to talk to them about, regardless of like the pattern that you've been going. Like best self wanted me to take a hard turn like this, a very hard pivot, and I'm with best self now. Yeah. I done gave people the spiritual, plenty talks, and I've been hinting around the money, but really best self got money. Your best self got money. That was the kicker. My best self has money. Your best self has money. If there's something wrong with your money, then and you're going to get rituals or you're going to get prayer or you're going to get healing, it's because your worst self don't need a lot of money. Your worst self don't need a lot of money, but your best self got money. Your worst self is always talking about why you only need just enough to survive. Oh, $10,000 a month, I can make it on that. I'm good. I talked to somebody one time and I said I had a friend who was making $130,000 a month and quit what they were doing because they was like, I can't make it on that, Kyer. I need more. It was like, I need like $3 million a month at least. I was like, what? So I told the story. I was like, yo, that's you my new friend. So I told somebody else the story, and they was like, $130,000 a month. What would I do with all that money? That was their worst self. I should have jumped out the car right there and went on, walked home, or did whatever. Yeah, I've probably been a little too nice, definitely a little too complacent. Finna fix all that though. Yeah, for real. Because if your bread ain't straight, it's because it's your worst self trying to keep you in the same position. You know you need more money. It takes dough to make bread. Hashtag. Let me type that right quick. Who gonna match me with this hashtag? It takes dough to make bread. It takes dough to make bread. Right. It's okay. You can be complacent. You can make excuses. You can damn whine and complain if you want to. That's your worst self, just as long as you are clear with it. But your best self got money. No. Let's get it clear. You don't need to make more money, Adrian. None of you need to make more money. That's the bullshit excuse. You need to get with your best self. Your best self already got the money. You need to be a gold digger. You know how they got some women, they marry these dudes just because they marrying them for their money? You should join your best self for the money, because your best self already got money. It takes dough to make bread. And your best self got dough and bread and an oven. And you sitting up in here on all these talents and not generating. Nah, man. And one thing I can't stand is when I was studying with the 5%, it was all about your word is your bond. So if I want to say live free, I can't live free with my worst self. I only can live free with my best self. You can't live free. You in a cage and feel like you in a cage and you want to leave your job because that's your worst self. What up, Tracy? You want to leave your job because that's your worst self. You don't need more money. You need your best self. Somebody, y'all scared to type that. I'm going to type it then. I'll type it myself. I don't need more money. I need my best self who got all the money. He got all the money already. I just need my best self. How do you get your best self to what? Yeah, any question? How do you get your best self to come out? Demand it. Demand it. You demand that your best self come out. Then it's a wrap. It's a simple process. It just might not be easy because you overthinking it. You get your best self to come out by quit analyzing what will happen when your best self get here. You know, a lot of deals that one of the main reasons I haven't made probably $1 million yet in 1 year collectively is because I overthink what I'm going to do with the money. Right. Instead of putting that energy into just doing what I need to do. Right. I don't need more. Yeah. My best self already has the money. Balling out too. Circulating it. He ain't hoarding it either. He ain't getting it. He not saving it. He ain't thinking. He operating off of instincts and aggression. He's operating off of instinct and aggression. That's amazing. Bill Warner's in the building. Salute. What up, Karen? Karen, where my niece at? Tell my niece I said peace. Hey, Carmen. Laquita's in the building. Yo, you want to know how to get your best self to come forward? Quit overthinking shit. When you overthinking something, I was talking to a friend who was talking about we got to be careful and we got to do this and we got to do that and so on and so forth. And I was like, you're in your head too much. Your feet ain't moving. You got all this energy processing the thoughts and your feet ain't moving. That's crazy. When you say my best self is an investor, your best self is not just an investor. He's an investor too. He's an investor. He does everything. He's an employer. He's an investor. He's a business owner. He's a worker bee too. Best self ain't just goofing off. That's what the worst self is telling us. The worst self is telling us that, oh, you can't do this and you can't do that and blah, 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 blah. Why, oh, why, oh, why, oh, why, oh. I'm done letting my worst self run stuff. Oh, who shared this video? If you just came on and you haven't shared it, can I get a 2 if you shared the video, or if you will share the video? Pretty please. I'd appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yes. Yeah, let me talk to someone else about their best self. If you ain't going to bring your best self up and forward, then let me talk to them. My best self wants to talk to other people who trying to get into contact with their best self. Like there's a lot of folks that's on here tonight talking about, they want to talk about their best self. Right. When have you talked to your best self? When did you go and be like, best self, let me get some of that money? Best self said, if you join with me, money is the last thing you be worrying about, because we don't have any worries. You don't need no money. You making money your focus instead of your best self. Even now, when I'm thinking about the deal my man gave me, it was a catalyst for the best self to come out. But then I realized best self already got the bread. I don't have to focus on the money. I need to focus on the best self. Because we work for people all the time and always doing other stuff. We always are experts in not going and being 100. We go to work and we ain't 100 because we ain't satisfied. We do all these things and we're not satisfied. We ain't satisfied. And we know that our effort is not 100. And the worst self says, well, go ahead. You only got the worst self and the best self. They're always available. That's the other part. The worst self and the best self are always available. They're always available to you. My best self, there wasn't no ritual. I wasn't doing no push-ups. I wasn't on the mini tramp. No, none of that. Best self just came up. Oh man, look at my friend from Mr. Royal's class, Paula Ultra. If anybody knows me on here, that Paula Ultra knows me. Hey Paula, mwah, love you. Someone just did to me 45 minutes ago. If you so smart and know so much, how come you're not rich? And your honest answer should have been what? Because I'm letting my worst self run stuff. Then you should have asked them the same thing. They're happy with their worst self. Both of y'all are happy about your worst self running the show. I ain't with that. I ain't with my worst. Yeah, always available. I'm not with that no more. I ain't with my worst self. It just don't vibe with me. Just like it just don't make no sense, yo. For me to be like, I'm finna go on Instagram and have a conversation over there, I guess, with some folks. I rarely get to go over there, so I better go over there and talk to them about best self too. Was this helpful for anybody? On a scale of 1 to 10, was this helpful? Best self be trying to be helpful. Yeah, he doing his best, man. I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do better at doing my best. Right. He's right there all the time. I'm gonna even say I'm going to, normally I do the Annabelle Code. That ain't the best prayer I got. That Usnis is the best. Why do I have to be in a hurry? Why can't I say the whole prayer? You feel me? And here's I'm cutting the air conditioner on and off because it's getting warm and I have to cut it on and cool off. Do you deserve to ask for somebody's best if your worst self is showing up every day? Do you deserve to be treated right? Come on over to Instagram. Anybody want to come through? Coach Khayr on Instagram. I'm going to be there. Yeah. For what? Do you deserve to ask someone else for their best? You know how like we always complaining about this raggedy customer service and so and so and so and so. You know, we creating all that. We in on the deal. We in on the deal, yo. We so acceptable of the worst that nobody's demanding that the best. Only a few people demanding that the best show up, and they're rich. They own football teams. They make policies. They do what the freak they want to do. They own Fortune 10 corporations. They own and run Facebooks. Let's say prayer, and I'm going over to Instagram before I get too tired. Namo Bhagavate, Traloki, Prada Visistaya, Budaya, Bhagavate, Tariyata Om. Visudea, Sama Tapabasa, Sparana Gata Gahana, Sabaha Vasudi, Abasakatu Mam. Sagatu Veravakana, I'm near to Abasakai, my mantra Padai. Aharu, Ayusam Dharani. So the higher, Vagana Vasudi, Usmisa Vajaya Vasudi, Sahasa Ramja, Sam Kodite, Sarvatatigate, Avalokani, Sapper, Mita Paraparani, Sarvatatigate, Herdaya, Anastita Anastite, Mahamudra, Vajrakaya, Samatana Vasudi, Savarano, Paya Degate, Paravasudi, Pratinivitaya, Ayasudi, Samaya, Anastite, Mani Mani, Mahamani, Tatota, Butakoti, Parasudi, Visputa, Buddhisudi, Jaya, Jaya, Vajaya, Vajaya, Smara, Smara, Sarva, Buddha, Anastite, Sudi, Vajra Vajra Garbe, Vajram Bhavatu, Mama Siriam, Sarva Satvanam, Kakaya Paravasudi, Sarva Tatagata Sinkame, Samavasayantu, Sarva Tatagata Samavasa Anastite, Budaya, Budaya, Vibodaya, Vibodaya, Bodaya, Bodaya, Vibodaya, Vibodaya, Samanta Parasudi, Sarva Tatagata Herdaya, Anastite, Anastite, Mahamudra, every time I say that prayer, I remember that it took me 3 years to learn it. And now I say it so easily and so quickly. I remember that for them 3 years, my worst self didn't want to even hear me praying like that. And it was always an excuse of why I couldn't get it done. Now I'm finished with that. My best self. And I'm not going to say I hope you like my best self. I'm on the joker, like, where did they get a load of me? My best self ready to stunt and show out. If he show out at all, I'm just ready to join up with my best self. I don't know what the best, I'm not sure what my best self is. I am sure what my best self has in store for me. The best. My best self has the best in store for me. That prayer is the Usnisa Vajaya Dharani. Usnisa Vajaya Dharani. Yeah. I probably could have learned it in 6 months. You might can learn it in 6 weeks now. It's a big boy. Yeah. But anyway, I'm going over to Instagram, Coach Khayr on Instagram, Team Taurus, Atlanta, Georgia. I really appreciate y'all rocking with me. You know I put these videos on YouTube too, so you can subscribe over there. And I'll see y'all around real soon. CoachKastraology.info if you want to get a session. I'm putting up a new birthday session too. Like if it was your birthday and you just want like a 365-day map, you should just come over and check that out. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna holler at y'all. Peace.